Hello class and welcome to our sixth lecture series on managerial accounting, and I'm your instructor Jamal Aider. Today we are starting a new chapter called CVP relationship, or cost volume profit relationship. So in this lecture basically we are trying to see what happened if we change the cost, what happened to the profit or volume. What if we change the volume or quantity sold, what happened to the cost and what happened to the profit? Or what if we change both cost and volume together, what happened to the profit? So this is very important for your future business, for your common understanding of the business as well, because the general layout is that the more we sell, the more we get the profit. But it's not the case. Today we will see that how a small percentage changes in selling, or maybe the small decrease in the cost, causes variation in profits, and which strategy is going to give us big profits, right? We already know that the economic goal of the business is to earn profit, right? So business focuses on earning profits. So you need to see that whether we are sales focused, we are cost focused or something, or we are profit focused. If you are profit focused, then you don't care about the sales, whether it is increasing or decreasing. You need to see that whether we can have maximum profit or not. So today we will see different kind of strategies. So in this strategy, the managerial accountants, basically they see that how many orders we need to fulfill, at how many rate, how much we need to produce, what kind of price we need to set to get maximum profit, right? Let's begin. So our first learning objective is explain how changes in activity affect contribution margin and net operating income. So let's just explain first the contribution margin and the contribution margin income statement. So the contribution income statement, it's helpful to the managers in judging the impact on profits of changing in selling, cost, volume, because it emphasizes on cost behavior. So the contribution margin income statement starts from sales less all the variable cost. We have contribution margin, and then we less all the fixed cost. We get NOI, which is net operating income. This is not the net profit, this is net operating income, which means still we need to deduct interest and taxes. So this is NOI. It means we need to less interest and taxes. Okay, so why we are not deducting these taxes? Why we are basing our analysis on NOI? Because these taxes and interest, they are not in control with the managers. So we will learn in our...
Sir?
Yes?
I have a question.
Sure.
Like, what is the difference between EBIT and NOI?
Okay. It's the same. Earning before interest and taxes or net operating income is the same. Okay?
Okay.
Good. NI, net income, which included the effect of interest and taxes. So my question is, why we are basing our analysis on net operating income? Why not net income? Because interest and tax is not controllable by the managers, because they take the loans, they need to pay fixed interest rates, so they cannot increase or decrease the interest rate. Plus the taxes are imposed by the governments through the law, so they cannot change the taxes. So that's why we are not basing our analysis on net income. We are just basing our analysis on EBIT or net operating income, right? So what is contribution margin? Contribution margin is the amount remaining from sale minus variable cost, right? So sale minus variable cost, sale minus variable cost is contribution margin, right? So another way to look at the contribution margin is that after covering fixed cost, right? Again, because this definition is a little bit tricky, but it's very easy. After covering fixed cost is 80,000. Whatever left will directly go to NOI, net operating income, or EBIT. So if you are selling, for example, if you are selling, okay, we will have this concept later in this slide, so I'm not going to explain it here. Let's build the momentum here. So CM is used first to cover the fixed expenses. So you see, if here is 80,000, 80,000 is fixed cost. If here it's 80,000, let me change a pen here. If there is 80,000 here, then 80,000 is fixed cost, then we have a 0 net operating income. So CM first cover the fixed cost, and then any remaining CM contributes to net operating income. Anything left will directly contribute to the net operating income. So this is very important concept. How we are going to use that in our coming slides, let's see that. So the contribution margin approach. So we know that contribution margin is sales minus variable cost, but can we do it on per unit basis? Yes, because the nature of variable cost is that it remains the same on per unit basis. So we can trust on variable cost per unit, right? So recall our second chapter, the cost analysis, in which we talk about the behavior of the cost, that variable cost in total changes with the level of output, but on per unit, it remains the same. So we can trust on per unit variable cost. So per unit sales, per unit variable cost, the difference is 200, 200 is our additional, or you can say that the CM per unit, right? So CM can be in dollars, CM can be in per unit, right? So throughout this chapter, we will be learning this RBC example, racing bike bicycle company. So their normal income statement is like that. They are selling 500 bikes, and 500 is the price. So their total sale is 250,000. 300 is the variable cost. 300 multiplied by 500, so 150,000 is their variable cost. So contribution margin is 100,000. 80,000 is their fixed cost. So now they are having net operating income 20,000, right? Let's move. So each month, RBC must generate at least in contribution margin to break even 80,000. So what is break even? When you have no profit, no loss. When the profit is zero. So in order to have a zero profit, how much you need to have contribution margin? At least equals to fixed cost, 80,000. If here we have 80,000, then our profit is equal to zero, right? So each month, at least they should earn how much contribution margin according to fixed cost? 80,000. Sorry. At least they must earn 80,000 fixed cost so that they can cover the fixed cost and profit is zero, right? We call this situation break even.
So 80,000 is the break-even point here.
No.
No?
80,000 is the fixed expenses. Break even is always sales or per or on units. Break even is always on units of sold or on
Oh,
sales, not on the fixed cost. Remember that one. Because fixed cost can
okay.
increase or decrease. We don't measure break even in terms of fixed cost. In terms of sales, we measure that. So we were just coming to this point. So if in order to earn 80,000 CM, right? How much we need to sell? So we back reverse. So it means 80,000 is covered here. 80,000 is your fixed cost. So how much? 300 is the variable cost. 500 is the per unit of the selling price of the bike. So if we sell 400 bikes, so 400 multiplied by 500, answer is 200,000. And 400 into 300, answer is 120,000. Then answer is 80,000.